Pompey Sound. Updates, the latest from Fratton Park, on the hour, every hour. Fueled by Piglet's Pantry. Click pigletspantry.co.uk to get your fill.
Christian Sadie's monster goal celebration after his 55th minute equaliser against Hull said a lot. Although the point secured by his goal in the 1-1 draw on Saturday meant very little to the club, it clearly meant the world to the man himself. After the game, he talked about his frustrations over the last 20 months, where his 70 appearances, admittedly half of them coming off the substitutes bench, didn't produce the goals and assists that he would have liked. He stressed that John Messino had repeatedly drummed it into every Pompey player in the squad that they were a part of everything that was happening, a philosophy that Sadie bought into, but there's no disguising the importance to many players of making as many starts as possible, and in the case of forward scoring as many goals as possible. Sadie is talking enthusiastically about going forward from this point, and it's pretty clear that he's referring to his hopes for a new contract.
We're not sure, and we won't know until Monday quite late what the situation is with Christian Sadie, but it's clear that he would like to be with Portsmouth next season, and he wants to be available to play for Portsmouth next season. In other words, if he's staying, he doesn't want to go out on loan, and he certainly doesn't want to be sold, and he certainly doesn't want to say goodbye. Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you, if you didn't know much about your football, that simply scoring a goal can be overinflated in terms of a manager's perceptions of what you can do. And yet, would Blair have started the game against Hull if he hadn't scored excellently taken that goal against Sheffield Wednesday? But possibly not. So does this mean that Christian Sadie is now champing at the bit for a starting lineup in John Messino's first Championship Mark Year 2 side, i.e. starting at the beginning of next season? Probably not, because there's a lot of water to go under the bridge in training and, of course, in pre-season. And so the team selection will be based on those things rather than what happened at the death of this excellent season. However, probably the standout thing that happened at the death of this excellent season is that Christian Sadie didn't half-tuck that away. I don't know whether he picked his spot, but he hit it so hard, as everybody is saying, that it probably wouldn't have mattered where it had gone. As long as it was on target, it was going to go in. And if the goalkeeper had got in the way of it, then the two of them, the ball and the keeper, would probably have ended up in the back of the net. He's looking fit as well. He's looking fit. I'm not going to say lean. He's just because he's always going to be a solid unit. But I think his athleticism has improved in the last year or so, and undoubtedly that's him and also the coaching staff at Pompey, because they work on all the players in all those respects. And now that their behaviour and performances are permanently tracked by all these data collection wristbands and what have you that players wear, I understand some can wear 24 hours a day, so that the club can be monitoring everything about them, including their sleeping patterns, obviously their nutrition, their stress levels. All of these things can appear on somebody's iPad screen. And so they know who to work on, who needs a little bit more athleticism, who needs a little bit more speed work, stamina work, whatever. And so that happens in the gym as well as the club like to put it, on the grass. Christian Sadie, does he stay? Does he get a longer contract? He's only 22. I'm not going to say there's no limit to what he can achieve, but I think there could be, don't you think, there could be even better to come?
Abu Kamara's last season at title-winning Pompey nurtured a growing reputation as a potent winger and goalscorer. On his return to Fratton Park on Saturday with Hull, he was keen to get the message across how grateful he is to the players, staff and fans at Fratton Park. He stressed that it was never on the cards for him to return to Pompey, and that such matters were largely out of his hands. He also added diplomatically that he is a Hull player now, and happy to be at Hull. After the game, he praised the travelling fans, as well as the grit and determination shown by the whole team. He ended his interview by saying that he wishes both sides well in the coming season, hoping that they can both push on. The most touching moment when he was talking to the press came when he said that he found himself shaking with emotion when he walked through the gates of Fratton Park, remembering all the wonderful times he had had with the club 12 months before.
It's possible that part of the reason that so many, if not all, Pompey fans are so in awe of Abu Kamara and so dearly have loved him to have another season with us and would possibly be interested in signing him up again is because surely it's true that when he arrived and began playing for us, we had our doubts. A lot of people had doubts. The first couple of weeks, no, the first couple of months, really, he couldn't get any traction on the game. He couldn't impose himself. He couldn't do any of the things that we learnt as Christmas approached and things were starting to really hot up. We realised that this was a guy who could go past people without thinking about it, who had a cracking shot on him, could score from any distance, and also could toe poke in a half chance. He had the lot. The lot. Maybe he didn't track back as much as no, who cares? If these people are scoring goals, these forwards are doing their business, it's nice if they can track back. And Blair did a great bit of backtracking in the 15 minutes that he had on the pitch against Hull. If a player can do both of those things, all of those things, then, the more well and good. But Kamara impressed us not just because he turned into the winger that he turned into, but because he overcame. He overcame the fact that he couldn't really get much of a grip on the game, the way Pompey were playing, the way League One football was to begin with. But he stuck at it. He stuck at it through thick and thin. He must have heard moans in the crowd. He may have even heard remarks. Some fans get over-enthusiastic. And if you're a winger, you can hear everything that's said to you from the touchline. And he overcame it. He overcame our doubts. He overcame any doubts he might have had. And he turned into a real asset, a £4 million asset. What was he worth when he came to us? Did we see any of that action? No. Did we get any favourable quotes for him? Are you interested in selling him for 900,000? No. It is Pompey on the line here. Still no. No, football doesn't work like that, of course. But we recognise that we got him wrong to begin with. And when fans can do that, then they're proper fans. Proper fans. So well done, everybody, for... OK, there had been some catcalls and moans to begin with, but towards the end of his season, it was all plaudits and applause. And it was good to see him welcome back yesterday, and good to hear how much it meant to him to be back at Fratton Park, albeit for one game.
Here's Isaac Hayden's classy post on social media. Quote, "Job done. Safety ensured, Pompey a championship club again next season, which is vital in their rise back to the EPL in years to come. A fantastic club with amazing support and rich heritage. I'm thankful for the opportunity to play for this club. Thanks to the owners, Rich, and the coaching staff for the chance to come in and try to affect the club in a positive way. Thanks to my teammates, a fantastic group with so much quality and heart that will flourish again next season. Thank you to you fans. Without you, football is nothing. Just sorry for the away performances not giving you more good results. Wish everyone associated with Portsmouth FC all the best for the future. Pup."
Play up Pompey. Wouldn't it be nice if social media was more like that? Maybe we need more what some people call overpaid, undereducated footballers crawling across our social media because, and I'm not saying that man is in any way undereducated or overpaid. That's what some people class most footballers as. But there's so much class, so much style, so much grace, so much real good humanity in that fantastic... I've never seen or heard of a better social media post than that. And everyone who does it, everyone who uses social media should take a note of that and see whether they can mimic that level of communication. Will they? Will they? You know what. Oh well.